On the second and final part of our series exploring the impact of Title IX in Iowa, we'll learn about some of the key figures that helped shape women's college basketball at the University of Iowa into what it is today. And we also take a look at how today's female athletes are carrying on the legacy of empowerment.
No person in the United States
shall, on the basis of sex,
on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in,
be denied the benefits of,
or be subjected to discrimination
under any education program or activity
receiving federal financial assistance.
Those 37 words changed everything when Congress passed Title IX into law in 1972. A few years before that, Christine Grant, a Scottish-born former field hockey player and coach, began attending the University of Iowa. What she saw shocked her about the state of women's sports.
It was a culture shock for me because I had been the coach of the Canadian national team, and I was used to elite athletes, very highly skilled athletes, well-funded programs, and I came to the wealthiest country in the world, and I looked at the opportunities for men, and then I looked at the lack of opportunities for women, and I was astounded.
Grant became the University of Iowa's first women's athletic director in 1973. Her goal was to change the culture and build strong women's athletic programs.
I just thought that if enough of us really pushed and really tried to bring to the attention of the university that this wasn't right, that we could make differences.
Grant's first hire to lead the Iowa women's basketball team was Lark Birdsong in 1974.
In some ways, when we were all beginning, including Christine, we didn't know what was ahead of us. We didn't know what was going to occur, but she hired a group of people that just were really dedicated to the sports and the program and the idea of opportunities for women in sports.
Grant followed by hiring several more great coaches to lead the program, from the legendary C. Vivian Stringer to current head coach Lisa Bluter, who is the winningest coach in program history. Even with trailblazing women like Grant leading the charge, things didn't change overnight. While women were granted more opportunities in sports, the difference in how they were treated compared to their male counterparts was glaring.
So it wasn't until I got to college that I began to understand that there was such a discrepancy.
You know, we would get the lesser practice facility. We would have the lesser locker room. You know, we had one set of practice gear and the guys had all this practice gear and they were getting their books paid for. We were not getting our books paid for. They traveled by bus, we traveled by vans.
As Bluter and her former player Jan Jensen began their coaching careers, they found their voices as advocates for their players and for women in sports in general.
When I had Lisa Bluter became my coach my senior year, what I always have appreciated about her, what I liked when she was my coach, but now as we've coached together all these years, is we've always been on a mission to make sure that our young women understand everything that has happened before and understand what they need to continue doing to continue elevating things.
I think that's one of the things that Dr. Grant would want us to do. You know, the coaches that she hired, I would imagine that she taught us all this information because she wanted us to carry on her legacy and also keep fighting the fight.
That message was carried forward by players who have their own stories to share, like Hawkeye basketball star Caitlyn Clark.
I remember when I was in like second or third grade, I was in an all-boys league, and I ended up winning MVP of the league, and a bunch of parents were mad that a girl won it.
At the 2021 NCAA tournament in San Antonio, she and women's players from across the country experienced the same inequalities that their coaches faced.
Just all the inequities there, our weight room, the food, where we stayed, and just kind of seeing that we were in a completely different type of hotel than our Iowa men's team was in Indianapolis. So it was just interesting to kind of see the differences there, and you know, a lot has changed since then.
That's due to players as well as coaches using their platforms to bring attention to the issue and ultimately affect change.
My goal is that I am empowering women to be the best female leaders as they leave our program, using the lessons of basketball to do that.
I think Lisa and our staff have always tried to hit that balance of pushing with respect, but with confidence and with an attitude of, you know, expectation.
As we reflect on the 50 years of Title IX and how far women's sports have come since then, the legacies of those who helped pave the way are held in high regard by the Hawkeye women's basketball program.
I'm lucky that so many great women came before me and paved the path. So I have the opportunity to play on ESPN, play on ABC Network, and play in front of a sold-out crowd, because I don't know if it would be the same if it wasn't for them.
Well, pretty much sums it up there. I mean, so many incredible women, you know, kind of laid that foundation, and now you have today's leaders like Caitlyn Clark really, like, you know, using their platform to make sure that we're still making progress.
And with leaders like Caitlyn Clark, the future looks very bright.
It does.
All right, Raina, thank you.